All right, we just came through this little town of Hiram where we had to stock up. Now, you guys probably know by now, this is kind of mountains down to the beach, hilly, and so these roads kind of tangle in through the apartments and the buildings and the hotels and along the coast and between the mountains, and it's sticky, and they really don't have any parking. And I think we've already told you guys, probably the Albanians will just double park all the time. It's very like their culture, and so that blocks the road, and so you get these little roads where there's grocery stores and markets, and it's a mess. It's not even season yet, it's shoulder season, but we can tell that all the hotels are starting to open up. They're starting to come in and clean off their tables and stock their shelves. So it's not season yet, but all the local people are here getting ready for season. So it makes for another hustle and bustle, plus all the construction that's going on. It's kind of a mess if they don't get it cleaned up before season. Wow, this place will be a zoo. The water is beautiful, the coast is beautiful, but the cities are kind of tangled up.
So we've pulled off the side of the road where there's this teeny tiny little circular island that's connected by this small strip of land. And we're gonna walk up this trail, and towards the other side of the little circle is a castle. The castle of Porto Palermo. Now it was built by a powerful leader of Albania back in the early 1800s, Ali something. I can't quite remember his last name.
Ali Pasha.
Ali Pasha. And I think that during the early 1800s, he actually turned control over it to the Royal Navy.
This was a main port right here back in the 1800s. This was it.
And I think there was a prison built inside of this castle as well. So,
and this was a place where Pasha, it's rumored that he killed all the engineers after it was built.
all right, it was declared a cultural monument in 1948.
So it looks like Ali Pasha controlled this short stretch of coast from up by Vlora, where we were, all the way down a little bit south of here, almost to Greece. And so he built fortifications all along here to strengthen his hold on this area. But I believe this fortress right here is still pretty much intact and has served as a prison even in World War II. Wow, look at this, guys.
There's more skylights.
Skylights, and it's lit up. And this is probably one of the most intact fortresses we've seen. Wow. This is cool. And speaking of cool, it is nice and cool in here. And I guess it's because of the thick rock or whatever, but it's a bit warm outside, but it's like a perfect temperature in here. This is a well. And again, I don't know how these exactly worked since we're this close to the sea. I don't know if they were deep enough to get fresh water. Wow, look at this. Yeah, so this says prison right here. So this was actively used as a prison during World War II. Now I don't know who they were storing in here, but I wouldn't want to be prison here. This looks like a place where they shackle you to the wall. Look at the entrance, very elaborate. Snow's calling me. She's over here in the kitchen, so.
This is the boardroom. This is where decisions were made.
Oh, this is the boardroom, or is this the kitchen?
This is the meeting room. So.
It looks like either some kind of fire pit there, maybe. they had the fire, and then they had stored wood over across the way. It's kind of hard to tell, but so this is the kitchen. Holy cow, this thing just goes on. So these are about 5-foot doorways through here. Now these other archways are all pretty big, probably about 10 to 12 feet. And if this was their kitchen, it was a really big space. So they'd have plenty of room for food storage, cooking, for a big army in here for sure. Wow. So I'm guessing that's a picture of Ali Pasha there. And this, it says right here, is his room. And you can see it'd be pretty big. Big bed, possibly even a desk in here. And then the courtyard's right here off of his room. Again, 5-foot doorways. And then, wow, so right out, he's got a couple window views to this. And look at this beautiful sea view outside of his place. Wow. And you can just walk out here and stand and enjoy. So this is the room adjacent to Ali Pasha's room. So probably, I don't know, like a war captain, somebody else important's room probably. See what they call it, the officer's room. And here's the staircase on up. So just a really big labyrinth. Soldier's room right here. Huge labyrinth of all these rooms. And so it looks like they could probably sleep quite a few soldiers in here. Of course, they got the big mess hall. And I bet they could fit a lot of bunks in this place. Wow. All right, and the stairs lead up here. And these grates here would be skylights for down below. Wow. What a beautiful view from up here. Now, this was said to be a very important trading bay and a trading route. And I should mention that the island of Corfu, which is Greece, is that landmass right in front of us. That's a big island. You can see the cliffs right here. Looks like they have some fish farms around here now. But those islands out there are Greek islands as well.
Well, our time here in Europe, we've been in or to a lot of castles. But that was a really cool one to get to walk around inside. And now we're going to take the trail back down to the van, see if we can find a little place for lunch maybe. But nice little stop. As we were leaving, we passed a lot of people coming up the trail and heading in. So I think we timed it right. I also think we've timed our stay on the southern Albania Riviera coast just about perfect. I think we'll be leaving in a week or so when this place is going to open up and turn into a big beach party with lots of people. So I feel pretty good about our timing that we did down here on this beautiful coast. But we're not quite done. We're going all the way down to the very southern tip because there's a really cool national park down there with some amazing history. And then we'll turn around and head back north inland a little bit. So we got a couple more days on this beautiful blue water coast. But what a stunning little walk up through this trail with everything blooming, all the wildflowers, all the bees and the little birds chirping. Perfect Friday morning. So we're southbound out of the Porto Palermo Castle. We got about an hour to our next planned stop, where we also hope we'll find somewhere to eat lunch along this beautiful water. But we did not know that we would be driving along a beautiful winding mountain coastal road. We're going up and down and lots of curves. Curt's arms are getting a workout. But we're going through little small towns up in the mountains that have these beautiful views of the ocean. There's olive fields everywhere, cherry trees scattered around. Just a really, really cool drive through a rural part of a beautiful coastline. You doing all right over there with the curves and the steepness?
I'm doing all right. We're just hugging the mountains and the sea, and it's kind of nostalgic because we've been hugging this mountains and this Adriatic sea coast for a long time now, and it's all about to come to an end. We're about finished with the Adriatic Sea, so drink it in because it ain't gonna last long.
Yeah, now a lot of you, if you know this region and you know we're headed south along this coast, you may think we're headed to Greece, but we're not, because Greece is one of the Schengen countries and is tied up in that visa thing, and we can't enter that part of the world right now. We can't go to the Schengen right now. So we will go as far as the Greece border, and then we have to turn around and head back north. So we'll have to catch Greece some other time. Don't worry, we will. But it won't be this go round. It is always a difficult task to park our house in any kind of a city. So this is Saranda, or Saranda, way down on the southern coast of Albania, one of their bigger resort cities. And it's like the rest of the place, it's just now starting to open up. There's definitely a lot of activity, because you can tell some locals live here. But we're gonna grab some lunch. Kurt enjoyed himself a grilled whole fish with some french fries, a little bit of salad, and I had a little flatbread pizza. So, headed back to the van, and it's a beautiful little city, or a big city, but it's crowded with the mountains behind it and the beach in front of it, and everything squished in between because everybody wants to be here. Plus we feel like this place has a vibe of kind of like a Miami Beach, the it spot, the party spot. Too crowded for van life. We're gonna head a little bit south, see if we can find a free place to sleep, camp close to the beach in a beach town called Ksamil. So let's go see if we can find a place that's not quite so crowded.
No matter where we go, we always see Messi jerseys. They don't have Messi jerseys on, I don't think. It's not no, but it's Argentina, and these guys are from Argentina, so.
Yeah, we are traveling.
Nice.
But we do love Argentina, and when we can bump into people from there, it makes us happy. Lots of good memories from that beautiful country.
All the world.
That's true, it is true. So what are your names, guys?
My name is Facundo. Nice to meet you. My name is Marcos.
All right.
Facundo and Marcos.
It is very, very nice to meet you. Put big smiles on our face. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your vacation, okay? How cool was that, guys? Way across the ocean on a completely different continent, out in the middle of nowhere in Albania, we run into two really cool guys from Argentina, and that was that. Vamos Messi. Vamos Argentina. That country, for you guys that are new, that country is what made us fall in love with football. We don't even call it soccer anymore. We are from the United States, so we know we have that wrong. But we did not understand the sport and the culture that goes with football until we were in Buenos Aires during the World Cup, and it was just absolutely magical. So we have a soft spot for Argentina. But now we are southbound, hoping to find a place to camp in the beach town of Ksamil. If you've been following our journey for a while, you know that me and Kurt have been traveling in our tiny house on wheels for almost 5 years now. And we get asked a lot of questions in the comments all the time. One of our #1 questions that always makes me laugh a little bit is, how do you guys live 24/7 full-time in that tiny little van without killing each other? And it's a good question. And honestly, back at the beginning, the first few months, there were quite a few debates, is what I'm gonna call them. And we had to learn how to live in a space this small, giving up all of your personal space and all your privacy and literally sharing everything with another person all the time. There's some ups and downs to it, but we have learned how to make it work. A big part of that is communication. And I know it sounds cliche, but you hear that thing that says, never go to bed angry. Well, you have to take that concept when you're living in a van and multiply it by 100. Not only do we try to never go to bed mad at each other, we try really hard to never go more than like 5 minutes. If I'm sitting there and I'm in the passenger seat and I'm stewing over something that he's done, I have to stop and realize he doesn't even know I'm mad, and all this is going to do is snowball and get worse and worse. So what we decided to do, what we learned along the way, probably about 3 months in, is, all right, that's it, stop, pull over into the next parking lot. And we pull over and we hash it out right there. Now that doesn't mean screaming and yelling at each other. It just means we have to be willing and able to communicate, to talk things through and say, this is what you're doing that is driving me absolutely crazy. I can't take it anymore. And give that person a chance to respond and maybe tell you why they're doing that. So communication, and it's not always easy. You know, sometimes it's little things. It's like you eat too loud, you have to eat quieter, or, you know, or it could be something really, really big. It's like, it really hurts my feelings when you do this. So communication is how we survive this lifestyle. That, and we have built in personal space. And I know that sounds funny in a van, but in the morning, Kurt gets up before me and he has, you know, I stay back in the bed. I'm usually still sleeping, and he has his whole morning routine of his breakfast that he loves so much. He eats peacefully and slow and calm, and then he does his dishes. I don't even start to think about getting out of the bed until I hear him doing his dishes. And then we kind of trade places. He hops up in the bed and he'll scroll and check on his social media, text with his mom or whatever it may be, while I have my breakfast up here. And it gives us each about an hour on most days of alone time that is ours, and we just really don't even communicate during that time. So that is our personal time, and the other times the key is communication. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you we can talk through absolutely everything. I'm sure there are times Kurt has called home to a friend or asked his mom, am I crazy? Snow's doing this, what do I do? We always need to reach out to somebody else. I have my sister-in-law and my aunt and, you know, some friends back home. And sometimes you need to reach outside of the van to work through some stuff. And there may even be occasions, you know, Kurt and I are big believers in mental health and taking care of yourself and focusing on, you know, the insides, not just the health medical part, but the mental side too. And that's why it's awesome that BetterHelp has decided to sponsor another video for us. They are the sponsor for today's video, and we thank them for that. BetterHelp has already helped over 4 million people to live a better, happier, healthier life. So who is BetterHelp? BetterHelp can connect you with a licensed therapist who's trained to listen and give unbiased advice. Now, I know reaching out for help and starting therapy can be hard. Sometimes face-to-face communication is difficult. Maybe the right therapist is not in your area. With BetterHelp, you can do your therapy session through a phone call, a video call, or even through messaging. You get to choose which way is easiest for you. BetterHelp can match you to one of over 30,000 therapists in their network. To get started, you fill out the questionnaire on their website. It helps to assess your specific needs, and then you'll get matched with a therapist just for you, in most cases, within 48 hours. So if you think that you could benefit from therapy, consider BetterHelp. You can click the link that's in the video description. I'm also putting it on the screen right now. BetterHelp.com/Snow and Curt. All of the restaurants are still closed and the little beach bars. But for us, I think that's a good sign. I think it's good luck.
Up there somewhere. Wow. What an amazing sunset.
It's pretty, isn't it?
Even the water's turning pink, guys. I mean, the sky is definitely turning pink and blue and pastel, but it's actually affecting the color of the sea. It's so gorgeous. We have spent a good amount of time right here getting to know this Adriatic Sea. We started back in Italy, and of course, we got on the waters the first time in Venice, and we cruised down through Croatia and down through Montenegro and now Albania, skirting the coast the whole while, running for the gold, staring at this hypnotic blue sea, and really learning about the importance that this Adriatic Sea right here had in the history of time. I mean, it is just amazing, but this, back in the day, was the center of civilization, maybe even advancement, and all the wars and all the changes of possession that happened right here has been mind-boggling. Of course, the beaches, the water, the mountains, and all that has been really cool. Unfortunately, the sea took my drone, so it hasn't been all good, but it's definitely been a lesson that we'll take with us forever, and a sea that we'll always remember. But guess what, guys? Our time is out, and we are headed back north. We've got a few more things we're going to do here in Albania, but our time to get back into the Schengen is approaching quickly. And so we are going to turn north here. We got one more thing we're going to do, and then we are going to turn north. We got a couple more places to see, and we are leaving Albania. But wow, what an amazing time exploring this coastline. We hope you guys enjoy it. We know we sure did.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!